Welcome to Sweet Talk, the show where beauty professionals share the real stories behind the salon suite life. No fluff, no filters, just the truth. I'm Raina, owner of Houston Lock Fairy, and I created this space because nobody really prepares you for what it really takes to build freedom, income, and sustainability in a salon suite. In every episode, we will talk about the wins, the mistakes, the money, and the mindset shifts, whether you're thinking about a suite or if you're already in one. Today, we are blessed with Miss Vicky Shelton, and we're going to get to know a little bit about her and her salon suite experience. Vicky, how are you today?
Hi, Raina. I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for joining us and
Thank you for
giving us
having
your
me.
time.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. So I can't wait to introduce you to the world because you're amazing. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us the name of your business and where you're located.
Well, the name of my business is Kin Hairitage Salon, and I'm located in Houston, Texas. And I'm really located in but Spring, Texas, Houston, Texas. I actually relocated here, so I rebuilt my business, rebuilt my brand, and I'm working in a salon suite.
Awesome. What services do you specialize in?
I specialize in locks, lock care, lock maintenance, healthy locks, lock styling, lock coloring, healthy locks. It always going to go back
Amazing.
to healthy locks.
Yes, because that's most important.
It is most important.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. Fellow loctician over here.
Yes.
And how long have you been doing locks for, Vicky?
I've been doing locks for over 20 years.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a
I'm
long
just keep it
time.
like that.
The goats, as they call it, the goats.
Yeah.
You know all about the locks. And so tell us a little bit about what brought you into a salon suite, or why did you decide to be in a salon suite?
I came into a salon suite because I felt like I had no other choice. So, like I said earlier, I relocated. I moved from New Jersey to Texas and I shut down my salon. I was a commissioned salon owner, and we actually had two locations. And for the process of the move, we ended up shutting down one location and just keeping the smaller one. And then when it got closer time to actually move out of state, we closed that salon down. And I was trying to find a place over here where I can find a commission salon, because in New Jersey, booth rent is illegal. They're just now opening like salon suites in New Jersey. So
Really?
yeah, so all down south and everywhere else, booth rent and suite rental was a thing, but we always had commission salons. Now there were ways to get around to it where, if you wanted to booth rent, you could, but it was still illegal. Um, so I was like, I'm starting all over. I'm starting fresh with, I don't know anybody here. I need to get in a salon that can pay me commission. That's
Wow.
somewhere
So
where I
quick
can rely on.
question.
Uh-huh.
Why do you feel it was illegal?
I think I think New Jersey is the toughest for anything, but I think it was their way of being able to pocket the money. I don't know. I think it was a
Huh.
way for them to maybe protect businesses, maybe
I didn't know
protect
that.
commission salons or something, so that people couldn't go out and open their own business. I have no clue.
Oh,
That's just
okay.
my opinion on it. But
Okay. That makes sense though. That makes sense. I didn't look at it that way. Okay. I
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Go ahead.
so I was saying, oh yeah, I felt that I needed to get into a commission salon so that I can rely on walk-ins and all this stuff. But the only thing I was finding here was like the chain salons, and I did not want to work in
Mm,
like a Supercuts or anything like
right.
that.
Yeah.
So, so I found through word of mouth somebody that I know referred me to a lady who has a salon, and she offers booth rent as well as, everybody else around here that has booth rent. And I met her. I took a tour of the salon. It reminded me so much of my salon, how it was family oriented, family run, husband and wife. Even the colors in the salon were my brand colors. And I was like, all right, this is the
That's a
place.
sign.
And then I just took a leap on faith and was like, you know what? I'm going to just have to do it. And I did it and it worked. Yeah.
That's
So that's how
awesome.
I got into a booth rent or suite situation.
Okay, so previously you weren't in a salon suite. Your first suite is when you got to Texas?
Yes.
Okay,
So this is my
okay.
first time
Wow.
being a suite renter.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I
Yeah.
thought you had a suite in New Jersey, but no, being in Houston, that's when you got your first salon suite.
Yep. So
Wow.
This is why I'm learning how to
Yeah.
be in this in a salon suite.
Yeah. So
And
you're
honestly, I would say when people ask me, or they ask me if I would be, think about opening another salon or have a commission salon, I'm like, I feel like I'm on vacation right now
mm,
because it's just me. Commission salon, especially when you're owning a commission salon, is way different. You have way more responsibility. The overhead is higher, of course,
yeah.
and a salon suite is just me by myself and my clients that I have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's less stress, it's
less
less
stress, less overhead.
overhead.
Hmm.
Gotcha. So when you first moved into your salon suite, did you have any fears or concerns jumping into a suite for the first time?
Of course, because I was like, because I'm starting from scratch, and we'll talk about this later, but I don't recommend anybody going into a suite without having a clientele. So my plan was, because I was scared, my plan was to travel back to Jersey at least once a month to do my Jersey
Mm,
clients, and until I built my clientele here. And I did that twice and I hated it.
mm.
I hated it because I didn't think it was worth it. I wasn't charging for a travel fee. I was still
The
charging the
traveling
same
back and forth.
prices. And because I felt like the way my mindset was then, I felt like if I charge extra for that travel fee, I know they want me to do their hair, but they might just say I could just get it done somewhere else. So I kept my prices the same. It was nice to
Mm,
see, my old clients and friends and my family,
yeah,
but traveling, flying with your products and all that stuff, I got tired of
yeah,
it real quick. But
yeah,
thank God I was able to build my clientele so fast that I didn't have to
yeah,
go back to Jersey
yeah.
to support.
That's amazing. I can only imagine what it took to jump on and off a plane, to
Hmm.
fly across the country to service your clients.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bittersweet in a way because you had to let go of
Mhm.
those clients.
Yeah.
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 And
But
some of them came and to visit me. They flew in to get their hair done, but then some of them are still like asking me, when am I coming back? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't want
I
to.
mean, because they know a good thing when they see it. And it's
Yeah.
hard to let that go. It's really hard to let that go.
Yeah. And
And
I mean, the good thing
I
about having the commission salon is everybody that worked for me was trained under me. So I was able to refer my clients out, you know, to a few of my stylists who now
nice.
operate their own salons.
Nice.
Yeah. So
And
that
so
made
in
me
a way
benefit
you
too. I wasn't
set
just
them
leaving them.
up.
Yeah. I wasn't just leaving
Yeah.
them high and dry.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
able to refer out. But
No, that's
the ones
awesome.
that
That's
still want
awesome.
the ones that still want Vicky,
Yeah.
no.
And that's the thing about it when it comes to a loctician too. Once you get attached to your loctician, it's
Mhm.
an unbreakable bond. Like
Yeah,
it's a
it
strong
is.
bond.
Yeah, for the ones who really truly care about their hair. I mean,
Yeah.
some people it's not that serious and they can just go. That's like me with the shop. I don't get my nails done like that. So I could just go anywhere for a quick manicure real quick, but
Yeah.
if I really cared about, like, maybe if I had the additions or something, I would stick to one person.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same. Okay, so when you got into your salon suite, when you got to Houston, did
Yes.
you have expectations? And did you soon learn that those expectations weren't realistic in any way? Or when did reality hit you that you were actually like doing this on your own in a salon suite in a whole new city?
Um,
Was it
so I've been here 5 years, and I still be thinking like, oh my God, I really did that. And
you
I'm
did
really
that?
doing this. So I still think about that. About it being realistic, I think it's just, like I said, it's easier for me now. So
Yeah.
that didn't kick in until one day I was just, packing up, cleaning up, and I was like, oh, I get to go right home. I don't gotta wait for other people to finish up so we can close up and all this stuff. And I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't a negative feeling about when the reality kicked in that, oh, I'm really a booth renter or a suite renter
Yeah.
now. It wasn't negative at all, but
That's good.
it did just hit me like, oh wow, I get to
Did
just be
you
out.
expect it to be easier, or did you expect it to be as smooth as it was? Getting
I don't think I
adjusted?
had. I don't think I had expectations like that because my thing was I was just concerned about setting up shop. So it's like I just left the old salon. I had to sell all that equipment and everything, and remind you, I had double of everything. So trying to get rid of stuff that I couldn't take because we drove here when we moved here. So I couldn't take all the equipment. So I was just setting up the new space, which was so much smaller.
Yeah.
So much smaller.
You had
I
to let
felt
go
like
of
I
a
was in
lot.
a closet. Um, so really downsizing everything.
Yeah.
And I think I was just more concerned about that. Like, how am I going to make this little space fit?
Yeah. That's understandable. And you made it fit. You made it work.
I made it work. Yeah. I was able to, I believe 2 years later, I was able to move into a bigger suite in the same location, but a bigger suite. But yeah, we made it work.
Okay. Okay. So that kind of goes into my next question. So what did like startup look like? So you're down here, you had to downsize, you got rid of
Mhm,
a lot of your stuff.
mhm.
So was your startup phase rebuilding or like getting everything that you once had and putting it into this new suite, or kind of tell us about your startup phase a little bit in the new suite?
Okay, so one of the things that I did when I opened the new location is I took a lot of things off my menu. So I wasn't
Mm,
always just a loctician. I'm a cosmetologist who specialized in natural hair. So I was doing silk presses, curly cuts, curl defining. I was doing braids and twists, extensions.
wow.
I was doing all of that. And when I
Everything.
niched down to just locks, I was able to, I believe that's how I was able to fit into that space because I didn't
Yeah.
need all of those other things. All I needed was my clips, my moisturizing spray, the solution that I use to twist hair, my tools, and yeah, and then of course promoting myself on social media, introducing myself to all these new people in Texas, like little old me from New Jersey. Y'all don't know me, but come to my salon.
Yeah.
So I had to be
Marketing is
strategic in that.
huge.
Yes, I had to market myself because I was used to marketing my team,
Mm.
and now it's me. So it's
Yeah.
like I have to put my work out there instead of, because I was the
All
one
about.
taking pictures of everybody's work, putting it on our social media pages and websites and stuff. So now it's just me, and I had to, and that's when I rebranded. That's why I changed my name to Vicky Shelton instead of Kin Hairitage Salon, because it's me now. that I'm putting out there. And once I did that,
Hmm.
I think that's how people got to know me and trust me and like me. And then they was like, all right, I'll book with her and I'll sit in her chair, because it wasn't
Yeah.
just my work. I had to introduce myself and, let people know what was up with me.
Yeah. So that's huge. That's a huge lesson. And I don't know if people just picked up on that or if anybody will pick up on that. But
Mm-hmm.
rebranding yourself, rebranding your business.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't the person or the stylist that you once were. And now you're introducing yourself to this whole entire new city, new
Mm-hmm.
people, and you had to put yourself out there.
Yes.
So you had to feel comfortable with putting yourself out there. And
Yes.
I recommend that to so many new stylists or anyone looking to be in the beauty industry. Like, you're not going to get any clients if you don't put yourself out there. And I just remember back at the beginning of my career having to go pass out cards, pass out flyers
Yeah.
in the grocery stores.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
boots to ground, like we was out there doing it, and now it's just so easy. It's easier because it is
yeah,
social media. I think you can reach people farther, but it's still
yeah,
nothing like that in-person connection. But while you have these phones in your hand, like, we have to put them to use,
yep,
because everybody else has their phones in their hand and they're searching. So
yep,
once I learned how to um, use searchable hashtags and stuff like that, put my location and stuff like that, put my face on there. I took my
yep.
logo off and put my face there so people could see
Hmm.
this is a real person.
Yeah,
Especially when after 2020, there's a lot of scammers out here. So people are
yeah.
booking appointments with these businesses and they're showing up and there's no business there.
No.
But
And
because
they
you
have
can,
no idea who they're
right,
looking
they're using
for.
other people's logos or other people's faces. Um, and then I also, besides niching down to doing locks, I just made sure that everybody got a consultation,
Yeah,
no matter what
yeah,
lock service they got. They
yeah.
got a consultation, so that way they was able to talk to me before even coming in the salon, so that
Because
I'm real.
consultations
Hmm.
go a long way. They're very important, especially
Yeah.
with establishing trust.
Yes.
Yeah. And I
Yep.
love that you require consultations. You require consultations for all of your new clients, right?
Yep, all my new clients.
Yeah.
And if I haven't seen you in about 6 months, like, you're considered a new client again, because I don't know what's going on with their hair.
Right.
So for all, I used to just do it for certain services, but now it's like for everything. If you want to start locks, if you want to color your locks, if you
Yeah.
want to style your locks, we're going to have a consultation. And it works for
Yeah.
both ways, because you might realize I'm not the stylist for you,
Yeah.
so.
And vice versa for you as well.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize that stylists also have the option of picking their clients
Hmm.
and you know
Yeah.
consultations go both ways. They serve a lot of purposes,
Yes,
and
they
a lot
do.
of people like to fight against it, like, why do I need a consultation, why do I need to do this?
Yeah.
Because it's
You're not
mandatory.
you're not my client then. You're not my client
Right,
if you don't understand it. Yeah.
right, and your client would understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that, so so much information. Let's see, so what would you give anyone moving into a salon suite a heads up about as far as expenses? I know we cut down the overhead, but
Hmm. But
what
you still
would
have
you
expenses.
say, right, are your
There's
expenses?
expenses for everything. Even if you work out of your home, you might not realize, you might think that you're keeping all your money, but you're not. If you're doing it right, you're not. You're going to have expenses for
Yeah.
everything, whether if you're a commissioned stylist, that percentage that goes to the salon, I would say that's your expense. If you're a booth renter, you have either weekly or monthly rent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you use like a booking app or any apps that you use to create for marketing and stuff like that, you have your apps that are due every month.
Yeah.
Of course, your products. You always want to stay on top of your products, the products that you use, and also retail. You do want to sell retail to your clients. That's an extra stream of income. Um, if you have amenities for your clients like snacks and water and stuff like that, that's included in that. What else? That's all I can think of off the top of my head. And then you have those other things. You have bank fees, you have
Yeah.
processing
Yeah.
fees.
If you want to get into the fees outside of the salon suite. But
but it's
yeah,
all part of your business. If you pay
yeah,
a CPA, an accountant to handle your books,
exactly.
that's a monthly charge right there. So you
Yeah,
want to make sure that your prices are able to cover those expenses, and then payroll. You have to pay yourself. And
yeah,
I don't think people understand that. A lot of people just think that, I think a lot of the clients think that we keep all our money, but it's like, if I don't have enough to cover all these expenses, a lot of times we don't pay ourselves first. So you may go a long time without getting pay until you get your business up and running. But that is something that you have to look into for a monthly expense is your payroll, whether you get paid, you pay yourself hourly or like a salary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's understood because a lot of people just look at hairstylists like, oh, they just do hair. They make their money and they go home.
Mm-hmm.
No, in actuality, you are an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You are a business owner. You have things that need to be paid in a timely manner,
Mm-hmm.
and you also need to pay yourself. You need to keep your personal and your business stuff
Separated.
separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a huge, huge tip for a lot of people just getting started. All
Yeah.
of your money that you bring in, don't,
It
don't
does
just
not
go.
go to my pocket. So stop trying to count my pockets
Exactly.
because you don't know what
Exactly.
my pockets. You don't know if I got to
Exactly.
keep anything this month. You know what I mean? Um,
Exactly.
and then also, if you are licensed, if you're a cosmetologist, a hair braider, you have licensing fees that you have to pay. And it might be yearly, it might be every 2 years, but you should break it down into months so that you have that money put aside for when it does come up.
Yeah.
Education.
Yeah.
Education. That could be some money that you put aside for when you do want to go to classes or get training.
Yeah. And it's all about putting back into the business. That's
Yes.
all to help you grow. Yeah.
Yes.
Would you say that coming from you were having a commission salon, you were in a like an open concept salon,
Mm-hmm.
would it be more beneficial for someone coming out of cosmetology school to start in a salon like that? Or would you recommend that, or would you say that they'd be okay jumping right into a salon suite?
Going
Do
right
you,
into a salon suite. I think the
yeah.
only time I see jumping right into a salon suite work is somebody who's already been doing hair
Mm,
and then they went to go get their cosmetology license just to be
yeah.
legit with it.
Yeah.
Because they already have a clientele, so they're already making that money. If that's
Yeah.
not the case, I say go into a salon with the open floor concept that educates you, that has walk-ins that come in. And I see a lot of people being very confused between commission and booth rent because
Mm,
there are salon owners who are blurring the lines. I'm gonna tell you, it costs money to have employees. It costs
yeah.
money to run a commission salon. And I think a lot of people try to cut corners because they don't want to either pay hourly, they don't want to put people on payroll. Payroll costs.
Yeah.
It costs to have employees. And so what people are doing is saying that this is a commission salon, a commission-based salon, but you have to bring your own products. You have to bring your own color, your own towels, your own everything, but you get paid commission. That's not a true commission salon.
Mm, mm-mm.
Commission salons they take a percentage of what you bring in, but they supply you with products, not tools. Some will provide you with
Mm,
tools, but you bring your own hardware, which would be flat irons, brushes, combs, all of that stuff. But they supply your color, any product that you need for the clients, shampoo, back bar, towels, towel service, towel cleaning service. They should educate you. You should be
yeah,
going there because you want free education.
yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of people trying to mix it, and there should be really a fine line. You're either commission or booth rent. And I see
Mm,
a lot of people really confused because they're hopping on Facebook saying, this doesn't sound right. And we're all like, yeah, that's not right. Run. Because
yeah,
either the salon owner doesn't know, or they know and they're just being, you
that part.
know, yeah, they're not
Yeah,
being legit about it. Because yeah, it does cost. And as a salon owner, it's like you want to keep your team because we need people in there to take these clients that are coming in. But at the same time, it's like, if that stylist has an issue with commission and you don't run a booth rent salon, they just have to go somewhere else instead of trying
yeah,
to say, all right, well, we can just mix it up like that. If that makes
right.
any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
so I
that's a
see a
huge
lot of
red
that.
flag. That's good.
Yeah, I see a lot of that going on. But if you decide to get into a commission salon, you're going to be getting some out of it. A lot of people complain about the commission split, whether it's 30, 40, 50%
Mhm.
split, but you have to weigh out the pros and the cons, because when you are booth rent, you're paying for, like, here I have no utility. Like, everything is worked into my weekly rent.
Mm,
So I don't have electric bill, gas bill, water bill, cam fees, all the things that you would have if you was, to open a salon. Um,
right,
Plus they're bringing you in clientele. So you want to work in a space that has good walk-ins, especially when you're starting out. You want to get walk-ins.
right.
Because essentially you are still practicing. So
Yeah,
you'll get to a point to where you don't take walk-ins, but you normally start taking walk-ins. And like I said, the education, they should be
yeah,
providing you, teaching you, training you. You should be able to work side by side with somebody else who has experience, and they can show you the ropes.
yeah. I think that is so good. That's a gem being dropped right now
Yeah.
because it's very beneficial to start off in a space like that
Hmm.
and gain that knowledge, gain that experience, have your mistakes, work out the kinks, even figure out if this is a career that you really want,
Yeah.
because you can see both sides of it. You see the owner, you see what they're going through, you
Hmm.
see other stylists, you're picking up things, some good, some bad, but you're still learning in that space before you jump off on your own. So I agree with you. I think it's a good move to start off in an open concept salon.
Yeah.
Look, work your way through that before, jumping into a salon suite, and making sure, like you said, that your clientele is there, because that's needed to be
Yeah,
successful in a
because
salon
once
suite.
you sign that contract, that's that contract. The landlord is not going to say, they're not going to care that, oh, it's slow this week, because we have our
Yeah,
up weeks and down weeks. They're not going to care that, oh, you had to miss work for a few days because you or your child got sick.
right.
You want to go on vacation. All right, that booth rent still has to be paid for that week,
Yep,
you
yep,
know? So,
yep.
and it's like
That rent is still due.
I always compare it to, kids when they want to move out their parents' house.
Mm,
So when you're working at a commission salon, you have that, everything is taken care of for you for the most part, just like your parents take care of you at home. But then when we want to be grown, because
yes.
I did this, as soon as I graduated, I was like, I'm about to move out. I didn't have to move out. I didn't have to move out. If you're in the situation where your parents aren't kicking you out,
Yeah.
and I think, a lot of things are changing now. We
Yeah.
as the people are keeping our kids home as long as we can because it's hard out here for them right now.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to kick our kids out anymore. So
No.
if you're not being kicked out, even if your parents ask for something towards the groceries, rent, or something, it's not going to be as much as it is when you have your own and everything is on you. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing when you go and work in a booth rent or a suite.
Don't forget to download your copy of the Salon Suite Success Guide, now available at lockferry.com.
If you don't have to leave that commission salon, and there are going to be things that might get on your nerves,
Yeah.
but you have to think, is it really worth it? Can I deal with this a little longer until I build my clientele, until I really
Yeah.
need to leave? Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's just a matter of, I just want my own, I want to decorate it how I want. Like that's minor.
Yeah.
And then if it's like in a situation where it's toxic, you can always find another commission salon,
Yeah.
but you want to be ready. You don't want to go out there and then fall flat on your face just to say, I have my own,
Yeah.
So
That's a
that's why
great
I love
analogy.
comparing it to, living with your
Yeah.
mom and dad. Because if you
Yeah.
don't got to go, don't go.
Yeah. That's a great analogy. That is definitely that is perfect. That is the perfect analogy. So, what would you say is a mistake or one of your biggest mistakes that you made when you first got started in your salon suite, if any?
I wouldn't say so. We don't make mistakes, right? We make discoveries. So what I did was I discovered that when you open a suite or when you get in your own space and you decorate it how you want it, you paint the walls the colors that you like, it's still going to be something that you can't control. You might be able to control the internal environment. Like in this room, I can control what goes on in this room, but I can't control what goes on with the building.
Right.
So one thing I learned, and I just moved into this suite. This is a newer suite that I'm in. But the first suite that I was in when I first moved here 5 years ago, like I said, it was perfect. It reminded me of Kin Hairitage. But that salon, and I love that salon because it's sort of like an open salon floor plan. Like when you walk in, we have barbers in the front, and then we have a few booths where it's like an open salon where you can booth rent, but you're side by side with another stylist. And then we have some private suites in the back, and I had a private suite
Oh,
or
nice.
semi-private suite because it had a curtain. So the
I
curtain,
like that.
you close it if you want privacy. I always have mine open because I'm nosy like that, right?
Yeah.
But there was no wall going all the way up to the ceiling. So you can hear
Yeah.
everything. And at first
Yeah.
it was fine, but then I feel like as I got older, I
Uh-huh.
couldn't take hearing all the TVs and everybody's conversations and stuff like that. And so that's something that I didn't think about when I first moved in. I was just ready to start building my clientele. And that could be something in me that just changed. Like I can't, even at home now, like if I hear somebody got their TV on and the TV's on in this room, like why? Turn one of the TVs off. But that's something that, they couldn't change. And I wouldn't want them to change that. That was a me thing. So then I decided to go on to a different suite. So now I'm in a room where I have a door that closes, all the walls go up. I might hear a little conversation here and there, but I don't hear a lot of devices and stuff.
Okay.
And now I have some natural lighting coming in. The other place didn't have that. So,
so kind of choosing your space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Congratulations.
if you can make a list of everything that you want, but even if you did that, like I said, you might get in there. And I feel like for me, as I'm getting older, I couldn't take trying to hear me and my client talking and then hearing other conversations from my suite mates and all that stuff. So yeah, you can make your list of what you want your ideal salon to be. You can have like a nice window space. Make your list. That's good to do. Make your list. But just know that it's might be something that you still can't control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to have a deal breaker, maybe like something that you can deal with or maybe not deal with.
Yeah.
But first, I just want to say congratulations on the new suite and the
Thank you.
move and finding your new space,
Thank
because I love that. And I love that you have the natural lighting, because that makes all of a difference too, just
Makes
seeing
a
that
big difference. I
outside.
even have real plants in here.
I love it. And that's
Some
good for the
green.
room too. That's good
Yes.
oxygen.
Yes.
I love it. And so that's awesome. That is really good information, because I think choosing your space and
Mm-hmm.
choosing where you handle your clients and where you bring your clients to,
Yeah.
it's so important, because your clients are coming for you. They trust you. And so you don't
Yeah.
want to bring them into a space that doesn't reflect you
Yeah.
or how you operate. And
Yeah.
so
Even the
it probably
location.
was even the
Even the
location.
location, because it was between this place and another place that was closer to where I live. But I
Uh-huh.
was like, my clients, I don't know if they're going to want to come. The things they would have to pass to get there, no. I
Oh,
don't,
not
yeah,
so
I'll
good.
stay closer to, and
Yeah.
plus I'm closer to my old location too. So,
Okay.
but yeah, location
All of
matters.
that has to be considered when
Yeah.
choosing your space. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that. That's so important. Good information right there.
Yeah.
What would you say is something that a lot of people don't talk about enough regarding salon suites? Coming from, choosing your area, your location, your space, you've
Okay.
learned as you were there. What do you say people don't talk enough about?
Ooh. Are you ready to be one-on-one with your
Mm.
client?
Mm.
Are you ready
Okay.
to be one-on-one with your client? So I do,
That's a good one.
so I don't, yeah, I don't, it's not a real popular topic, but I have heard people talk about that, how awkward it could be, especially when they're trying to decide whether to go into a suite as opposed to an open floor concept. Um, but I say it doesn't have to be awkward. Like I'm more of, they say you attract the kind of clients
Yeah.
that they attract, you attract the clients that are like you or similar to you, right? So I attract a lot of, quiet, calm, cool, collected clients, right?
Yes. Yes.
So for the most part, my clientele is a type that I don't have to do a lot of entertaining or a lot of
Mm.
talking. So I offer silent appointments. And that's
Yes.
good for the clients who just want to either come, they work from home and they're coming with their work, or who just
Mhm.
want to come and get away from the family and just decompress and relax and get their hair done.
I love that.
I also have clients who do carry good conversation, and I'm a great listener.
Mhm.
So I listen and I carry on conversation if they started up first. I'm also the type of stylist that I don't want to bother you with questions. If I see that you're chill,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be yapping in your ear. But I know there are some stylists who are very talkative, and they might feel like, why isn't my client talking to me?
Yeah.
Or it could be the opposite. But just know that if you are one-on-one with your client and the atmosphere, whether you're playing music or not, and there's silence, it doesn't have to be an awkward silence. So I know that some people just trying to bring up little small talk, and some people don't like small talk.
No.
So you don't have to bring up small talk to fill in those silent spaces. Like, I have a picture that says comfortable silence is greater than
Mm.
awkward silence. Yeah.
I
So
like
it's
that.
okay to be silent and be comfortable in that. And just know sometimes the client is just sitting to relax and get their hair service. And yeah, you don't have to feel like, oh, it's awkward. It's just me and this
Yeah.
person in here, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Just do your
Yeah.
work
Yes.
and
I love that.
let them guide the conversation.
Yes. That is a great one. That is and I agree. I don't think people talk about that enough.
Yeah.
Because I think when it comes to being a service provider, people automatically assume that you're a people person.
Mm-hmm.
And they automatically assume, like, I know a lot of introverted people, and so they don't look forward to going to the salon or to
Mm-hmm.
get their nails done because they don't want to talk. Like, they
Yeah.
don't like, that conversation part. It
Yeah.
makes them feel uncomfortable. So there are a lot of different type of people in the world, and as service providers, we have to know how to maneuver around those people, but
Mm-hmm.
also make ourselves feel comfortable as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I'm an introvert, I feel sometimes. Sometimes I can
Mm-hmm.
be an extrovert, but I don't pressure anyone to talk.
Yeah.
Like you said, like I would rather just do your thing and then let me do my thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's completely fine.
Yeah.
So that's a great that is a great one because I feel like we can all relate to that. And being in an open concept salon, you get used to having a lot of different voices around you, a lot of
Yeah.
different people around you, and so you don't feel the pressure of
Mm-hmm.
trying to get to know your client. But once
Right.
you're in that room with those four walls and
And
it's
it's just
just
you
you
and
and your
them.
client,
Yeah.
you gotta get with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but you don't want to do it in a rude way, because I've also had an experience like that where I went to go get my hair done with a young lady and she didn't say anything, and I
Mm.
actually wanted to learn more about her. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to talk
Yeah.
to her, but she was closed off. She had her headphones on, and I was like, "Well, this is a little weird."
Yeah.
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 So
I,
it
yeah.
it
I don't
depends.
even like if my client has their headphones on, I don't wear headphones. I don't like to wear headphones because I'm like I still need to hear if they need me
Yeah.
or something. So
Yeah.
as a professional service provider, um I don't recommend wearing headphones as you're working.
No.
I know some people just wear one in because, but I mean, I just like playing music. If it's not my
Yeah.
music playing, it's my music playing on YouTube or something, or
Yes.
see what type of music they want to listen to.
Yes.
But I do be feeling some type of way when they put, especially my younger clients, when they have their music in, and I'm like, oh, y'all want to hear my music?
Yeah. I've had that happen.
But yeah.
But they don't mean any harm by it.
Right. I know. Because this is their way of, this might be the only time they get to sit and listen to their music or watch their Asian soap operas and
Right.
stuff like that.
Or their anime.
Right.
Right.
And another thing is I never want my clients, especially new clients, because if they see me on Instagram, I feel like I'm totally different in person because once I'm behind that ring light and doing my reels, that's a whole nother Vicky. But when you step
Yeah.
in and I'm doing your hair, I'm very calm. I'm very relaxed.
Yeah.
And I don't talk a lot, but I can listen good. I carry conversation and I'll make you as comfortable as you need to be to get these services done.
And that enough goes a long way.
Yeah.
It really does. Because sometimes people just want to talk and they just need a listening ear, not
Yeah.
necessarily for us to respond or give
Oh,
them a
yeah.
solution, but they just want to vent and let things out. And that means the world to them.
Yeah.
Okay. So, growth. What decision had the biggest impact on your business growth? This is a juicy one.
Well, I can only go by when I utilize social media in the right way for my business.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what made my business really grow. And
Mm.
then networking.
Yeah.
And you can attest to this because when you network with people, any type of people, when you're out and talking to people, but when you network with other stylists, other hairstylists, other locticians,
That
they'll
opens
send
a whole
people your
new.
way. They'll refer people your way. And then, I refer people back to whoever needs help. But having a network of other stylists, people who do what you do, And then, like I said, if you are out there and talking to people who aren't hairstylists, let people know what you do, because everybody's going to know somebody who has locks or who wants to start locks.
Yeah. Especially in 2026, yes.
Yes. So networking and using social media to build my clientele, that really helped
Yeah.
to build my business.
Awesome. And did you learn that on your own, or did you have like a social media, what do they call them?
Well,
The people that
I
help
moved
you?
here. I moved here in 2020, and I moved here in August of 2020. So I think December, January is when I had a meeting with Raymond, and that's when
Okay.
he flipped it for me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I need to be
Mm,
doing this." So I invested in learning what I need to do, because you
awesome.
can sit in all of the free little classes and stuff and get little
Yeah.
nuggets that help. But I
Yeah.
really needed to talk to somebody. I had booked a one-on-one with him,
Yeah.
and he really showed me, like, he did the work. He studied Instagram. So he taught me how to utilize it to be findable, be
Yeah.
searchable. Here.
Yeah. And I love that, real quick, because two things. One, you have years of experience,
Mm-hmm.
but you're still willing to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a lot of people drop off, because they're not opening their minds enough to learn something different than what they've been used to. And social media is fairly new. And so
Mm-hmm.
there's a whole new marketing way that you need to use to build your business.
Yeah.
And then, two, I love that you sought out a coach or a mentor who could do a personalized breakdown of
Mm-hmm.
what you could do to help your business, instead of just being out there winging it and trying to figure it out on your own.
Yeah. I mean, I would have wasted time. I would have wasted a lot of time doing
Mm,
that. Instead, I put my money into it and learned
yeah,
and practiced it, and
yeah,
then got good at it.
yeah,
I would have still been trying to make it work.
yeah,
So yeah, like you said earlier, invest in your business. Always put money back into your business,
yeah,
but invest in yourself too.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, you can go a long
yeah,
way. Don't think that we're all forever learning. I don't care how many years I've been in this business. That's what's going to keep me relevant. That's what's going to keep me young. One day I'll explain what these YRS means, but one of them means young.
mm,
And young not in age, but I'm always going to be relevant because I'm always learning, and I'm always, refreshing. And
yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to be one of them old people that don't know how to use
No,
my phone and social media and stuff. And
because you see what's happening to them right
yeah,
now.
yeah, they're
They're
struggling. And a lot of
behind.
it
They're
is ego.
struggling.
A lot of it is
Yeah,
ego. They don't want to be taught by a younger person, and they
yeah,
use their years of experience as the excuse. And
yeah.
I've seen a lot of people doing a lot of stuff wrong for years, So years
Mm.
doesn't really mean anything. That's funny because YRS, years, but
Hmm. I
but
love
years
it.
doesn't really make you the GOAT. Is what you're doing in them years. That's
Right.
how I look at
It's
it.
how you spend those
That's
years.
how you spend those years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it. I feel like if you stop learning, you stop growing,
Mm-hmm.
pretty
That is
much.
true. And you're going to be stagnant, and then you're going to feel the burnout.
Right. Right.
And unless you plan on going to nursing school or, doing something else,
Yeah.
you want to keep leveling up in what you already know and love.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what marketing strategy would you say worked the best for you? Like, was it social media itself? Was it a certain platform, or is it a certain, so, a lot of people say post in the morning, post at lunch, post at night. Did you
Mm-hmm.
have a certain strategy that helped you that you would recommend?
Yeah. So strategy and then challenges. I would challenge myself. I remember one February. Oh, happy February! Happy Black History Month to you. But one February, I for 28 days I posted a reel every day,
Mm.
and that was my practice on learning how to do reels and keeping myself accountable for being on schedule. And then, yeah, so you want to learn from people who follow the social media. I don't know if it's the algorithms or how. So my platform was Instagram. That was my main platform. So Instagram, they change stuff up all the time. So you want to either be on a team to where you're learning where the changes come through, or learn from
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's out there getting that knowledge. So at that time it was, and it might still be going on now, but you look at the statistics of your followers, and you see when they log on and when they're seeing your
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So for me, it was 9 in the morning and 6 in the evening. So I was
Mm.
posting at those times and being consistent with it. And yeah, so the strategy is learning whatever platform you're on, learning what they want, learning what they
Yeah.
want. And when you fall off or step back, because I've done that,
Yeah.
just know when you get back on it and they're not really pushing it out to people and nobody's seeing your stuff,
Yeah.
that's just all a part of it. They just want you, they're not punishing you really for doing it. It seems like a
Yeah.
punishment, but it's like you haven't been here for a while. So now we're starting
Right.
all over again. So we just have to get back on it and be consistent. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's just life. It goes in circles. Even with my, working out and eating right, I'm on a roll right now. But if I
Mm-hmm.
fall off for a few days, for a few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
I know
Because
how
it
to get back
happens.
on. It
Yeah.
happens, but you just got to
Mm-hmm.
know how to get back on that cycle and keep riding.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with social media. I see
Yeah.
people take breaks. I never took a break on purpose. I
Yeah.
just, something in me would just not want to produce content, and I just go with it. I don't fight it. But
Yeah.
then when I get back on, I be on a roll,
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely posting content, knowing what kind of content to post.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was really educating. When you educate the people, and when I
Mm-hmm.
ask most of my clients, why do you come to me? And they say it's because you have no problem teaching people how to take
Mm.
care of their hair at home, or you have no problem sharing things with what I need to know about my hair. So so it was easy to post a lot of content where I was educating. And then I'll add in some few things personal about me and my family so that people can get to know me.
Yeah.
But just learning whatever platform you're on, what they need to know. Now I'm getting back on my YouTube. So, I'm trying to get monetized. So now I know what I need to do for that. I need to be
Yes.
consistent with that.
And we can chat about that later too,
Yeah.
because that's we're very alike in so many ways along this
Yeah.
journey. And
The two
Instagram was my
unicorns. The two
yes.
unicorns.
Instagram was my biggest platform that got me, I think to the level that I grew to so fast. It wasn't any other platform. It was Instagram, and it all had to
Yeah.
do with consistency.
Yeah.
It all had to do with just knowing. I think you have to have a goal, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to be committed to reaching that goal. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's when consistency comes in. So
Yeah.
if you're determined to build your clientele and you're going to choose Instagram, then make sure you pay attention. Like you said, look at what the algorithm wants, and it basically wants you to be active. So as
Mm-hmm.
long as you're active, it's going to keep pushing your stuff. And when you stop, it's going to fall down.
Yeah.
So you have to be consistent with it. And so I learned that as well. That's absolutely true. We've both lived it, experienced it, and now trying to focus on other platforms and grow on other platforms. So YouTube is definitely one that I'm venturing into, and so we can definitely help each other with that one.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And another thing that you said is the educating. I think that's also how you gain the clientele that you have now, is because of the content that you put out there, and the
Yeah.
ones that received it also received you. And those are the ones that then click the link to go to your website to book with you. So
Yeah.
I think it's very important what kind of content you put out, and what kind of music you use, what kind of,
Yeah.
hashtags you use. You're reaching out to who you want to be your client. So you always have to be mindful of that. So I
Yeah.
love that education is a big part of your social media marketing, because one of the biggest lessons that I learned early on is to be knowledgeable.
Yes.
And I didn't understand at the time the value of being knowledgeable, especially about your craft, until, actually getting years into being a loctician. And knowledge is key.
It is.
And I say with anything, if you're a nail tech, if you're a barber, if you're a braider, I think clients trust someone more and will book with someone over the next person if you're knowledgeable.
Yeah. That's true.
And that's very important. I just want to make that a point.
And
I
it comes
think
with
if you can
experience.
educate,
It
that's
comes with
important.
experience, but at the same time, if you're just starting out and all you're doing is leveling up and learning and taking classes, that you're getting your knowledge. So,
Right.
they'll pick you over somebody who's been doing this for years, but doesn't have the knowledge, still doing the same thing wrong over and over.
Yeah.
So knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'll never forget, right before I moved into my first salon suite, I was in a Black-owned beauty supply store.
Okay.
And I was at the counter. The lady that owned the place, she saw, I guess, the items that I was getting, the clips, the combs, everything that you name that you need for your suite. I was buying all of it. And she was asking me where I'm working, where I'm moving to, and where, I'm getting started at. And I was telling her I was super excited. And she said, I'll tell you one thing. And I said, what's that? And I listen
Okay.
when an older person or elderly person, someone that's been in the game for a long time, when they try to tell me something, I listen. And so she said, I'll tell you one thing. I said, what's that? She said, you'll get clients more by teaching them how to do how to take care of their hair at home. So she was saying, basically, educate your clients, teach them how to take care of their hair on their own, and they're going to trust in you more, and they're going to come back to you more. So I think that ties into what we were just talking about educating your clients. They value that.
Yeah, she gave you some good advice.
Yeah.
And you took heed to it.
I took heed to it. I am a very good listener. And I not only listen, but I apply it as well. So I always thought about it, and I was like, okay, wait. So if I'm retwisting their locks, let me tell them how to moisturize their locks. Let me tell them how to wrap their hair up at night to avoid lint getting caught in their locks.
Because what you're doing too is teaching them how to protect their investment that they just spent in your chair. So it's like, oh, okay, she wants me to really take care of this. Like, I'm really going to get my money's worth out of this.
Right.
And she's not scared to share. Like, she don't think I'm just going to take this information and go do my hair now from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And someone would be afraid of that if they weren't confident enough.
They are. But and you said the word, it comes with confidence.
Yeah.
It comes with confidence because you have to be confident enough to know that you can tell your client how to do this.
Yeah.
You can teach your clients how to do their kids' hair.
Yeah.
But if they're not the type of person that want to do their kids' hair, they're still going to come back to you. But it's good for them to know if they ever come in a bind where they can't get to you.
Yeah.
You taught them. Raina, your name is going to come to their mind.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I love that. And I took that all in because I love when my clients come in and say, "Oh, I did a little retwist on my hair a few weeks ago." I love that.
I
I
did what
want you
you
to
taught
know how
me.
to yes,
Yes.
I want you to know how to wash your
Look,
hair. I want you to know how
see,
to
look, here's the
retwist.
picture. Look.
Yes. And I put it in a little style and everything. I love that. And they're so proud of themselves. I love it.